Vietnam greeted Putin with the highest honor, including a 21-gun salute and honor guard, and with President Do Lam personally waiting outside the presidential palace. Russia-Vietnam ties are rooted in the Cold War, and they have forged a comprehensive strategic partnership since 2012. The visit was seen by the international community as Hanoi helping to offset Putin's isolation in the Russian leader's time of need. Raymond, let me come to you first. So tell me, how would you characterize the relationship between Vietnam and Russia?
That goes back to decades. Actually, in next year, 2025, they are celebrating the 75th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic tie, which was established back to 1950s when Vietnam is still under the independence war against French. So you see that Soviet Union supported Vietnam even at that time. And also USSR supported Vietnam as in terms of air defense in the American War of Vietnam. So the Vietnamese people has an intimate affection towards Russian people, and they see Russian very, very different from Western world. And also the actually Russia, China, and India are among the three traditional first-tier allies. We call it comprehensive strategic partnership. The historical tie between Vietnam and Russia is very, very strong and go back very, very, very deep, rooted in Vietnamese societies.
Professor Huynh, I mean, Vietnam says that their relationship with Russia is filled with loyalty and gratitude.
I agree with Raymond to some extent, especially on the long-standing relationship between Russia and Vietnam that back to the Soviet Union. We know that the Soviet Union's support for Vietnam is quite tremendous, and we have the diplomatic backing, we have weapons, we have ammunition, gas, and so on, and even the national building when the peace resumes. And recently, Vietnam considers Russia to be a strategic partner, and Vietnam needs Russia backing in international institutions, given that Russia has a role to play because it is a permanent member of the United Nations Security Council. And it's really interesting because you see that under the Putin visit to Vietnam have been criticized by the West, especially the United States. But it represents Vietnam's omnidirectional engagement with regional powers, including historical partners like Russia. And one interesting thing is that the Vietnamese perception of Russia and especially Putin is quite good at the same time, even though we have the Ukraine war happening now.
Very interesting, the Ukraine war for Vietnam, because, you know, historically, Raymond, Vietnam has relations with Ukraine as well.
Yes, also very strong. Actually, the people-to-people relationship, also educational exchanges, a large amount of number of students studies in Ukraine and in Russia and vice versa, and also culture links. But Vietnamese government has been very, very careful since the outbreak of the full-scale invasion of Ukraine. They never voted for the sanctions in the United Nations against Russia. They always until now abstain from voting against Russia. And they kept this strategic balancing very, very carefully. And also, I think
they've sent some support to Kiev, I understand.
Also, although short of weaponry or ammunition, but support.
Okay.
So it's a careful move of balancing.
Okay. Professor Huynh, tell me, who do you think needs who more, Vietnam or Russia, right now?
Right now, I think Russia needs Vietnam more, yes. Because Russia needs a leverage to engage with Southeast Asia, and Vietnam can consider to be a risk that Russia want to foster ties with regional powers, given Vietnam's good reputation in Southeast Asia. And previously, we consider Indonesia to be the de facto leader of ASEAN, but now Vietnam has emerged to be the de facto leader in terms of its consideration, its initiative, and its active contribution towards bolstering the reputation of ASEAN.